Hello students and welcome to Art History 2. My name is Professor Yavelberg and I will be taking you on a journey of Western art from 1400 to present day. It's a lot of material to be cramming into a short amount of time, so let's get started. I'm going to show you really quickly how to navigate this course and find all of the material and basically meet success within this very different course than other courses you may have taken. So, everything starts at the course home. When you come in, you will see announcements of that week, any material, links to what's required that week, as well as a calendar of events of upcoming due dates. I've made sure everything has a due date so that you can keep track through the calendar if necessary. Now, the course itself runs through the content area, like any course on this system. So what you want to do is you want to navigate over to content. And once there, it goes top to bottom, left to right in order to navigate. So if we look here, it starts at the syllabus, most important document of the course. I will come back to that in a moment. I'd rather get you started on where things are, and then we'll talk about policies. So moving through this course, you will find the first two items are Museum Exhibition Project and Required Side Quests. Those are general projects that span the entire term and therefore have been pulled out of the weekly material. They are listed within the weekly material as well, but I have them listed separately so that you can, if you're looking for further explanation on each of those assignments, go quickly to them. So the first one is the overarching research project for this course. That is the Museum Exhibition Project. This project asks you to become curators, a sort of application of the course material to a real-life situation, which is to create a small special museum exhibition based around a theme. You're only doing one room, so you're not doing a huge exhibition, just a one-room, little quick exhibition that pulls in a few works, 6 or more, under a specific theme of your choosing. This project is scaffolded in such a way so that it spans throughout the term and you get constant feedback on your ideas. So it starts with a proposal and then it goes to a virtual or physical museum visit so that you can understand what a special exhibition looks like and how a curator writes about such exhibitions. Then you're going to write your own research paper based on this theme and support it with a museum exhibition that's virtual using either Prezi, ArtSteps, or Google Sites. You can use another nonlinear presentation method of your choosing, but you will not be able to use PowerPoint. No PowerPoint. I'm going to get you away from that linear way of thinking in displaying and presenting work. Second thing in this is your required side quests. Side quests sound like they're on the side, but they are required in this course. These assignments take the place of a traditional exam. Instead of quizzing you on names, dates, facts, and identifying terms and being able to define them in that way, I'm doing it in a more open-ended manner that supports the learning for each week. So essentially, the best way to approach these assignments is to think of them as parallel with the course reading and the weekly discussion prompt that you will be asked to respond to. So as you're reading through our course material, which I'll get to in a minute, you might come across a term that you really don't know. So you go, oh, well, I don't really know that term, so let me look it up and define it. And then you go, okay, this is what it means. Now, then you'll go one step further and you'll apply that definition. So you'll look at an artwork or artifact that really, exemplifies that term, and you explain how does it exemplify that term by analyzing it within the context of that term. Don't need the general context of the artwork, just how does mosaic, let's say, really a great example of using mosaic. How's the material and the use of mosaic exemplify the meaning within that object? So looking at those kind of connections between term and object as you're discussing it. So you see how that parallels what you're already doing. The second thing is resource sharing. So, hey, you were looking up mosaics and you really needed more information than what was provided within the course content. So you went outside of the course structure, looked up something through our UMUC library that tells you a little bit more about mosaics, and you go, okay, I'm going to share that material with the class. And give a brief analysis of it. How is it useful? Is it academic? Is it not academic? How so? Those are the things that really make for good research and good knowledge, is understanding how to do that. So sharing your resources also helps everyone else in finding more information that relates to this course. So that's, again, a parallel assignment to what you're already doing. The final side quest is content questions. So as you're going through the content and you come across a question that's not the weekly discussion prompt, because this weekly discussion prompt is only focusing on one certain element within that weekly material, you might go, oh, well, this is another interesting topic. What about women in art history? Where does feminism come into this? And you start asking a question based on that. That might bring in some other ideas and really expand, again, the course material. So these are content questions you will ask of your peers. You will get credit for asking and answering questions. So you have to do both. You have to ask a question and answer a question. So as you guys are going through the material, ask questions of your peers. And if I find it, a really interesting one, I might come in and chime in too with some feedback on those as well. Final side quest there is an extra credit one. That's broken links. We are using all open educational resources in these courses, so there is no textbook required of you. Most of the material is based on Kleiner's or Gardner's Art Through the Ages, written by Kleiner and Gardner, but that material is now kind of pushed aside, and we are really just focusing on open educational resources. These are links to external pages, videos, images, and so on. They can go bad. It happens often because it's not all housed under one system. So we are asking your help to make sure that they stay up to date. If you're reading through the content and something seems to not be working, let me know, so that I can go and fix it, because that helps not only me, but the other faculty using this material as well. I give extra credit for you finding links or even grammar issues, which are few and far between at this point because the material has been reviewed by several faculty and several semesters worth of students as well. So those are the two overarching projects within this course. Weekly, you will also be asked to respond to discussion posts, but let's go through what a week looks like. Here's week one. There's a lot in week one because it's really kind of getting you into the course and the groove. So each week starts with an introduction. Usually goes through course material. So in this case, how do you deal with research and MLA? How do you conduct research? What is MLA formatting? And so on. Because we only use MLA in this course. Please, if you're used to APA, learn to use MLA in the humanities. APA does not apply to humanities courses at all. MLA is the format that we use in this course, and I am very strict about that. So then if we go back to week one, so that's the example of some content. Then there's a little brief quiz on MLA to make sure you understand it. There's more content that's about writing about art history specifically, and a tool that might help you to form arguments within art history. Then there's the weekly actual content for the course. So in this case, it's Proto-Renaissance. If I click on that, it takes you to an external source, which is the arthistorysurvey.com wiki. And this is a wiki page that contains content, images, videos, links to other content for further reading, and so on. So this is really where you're gaining all of the content for this course. This is where the textbook has been translated for you into a way that you can, that relates to the course material. Okay, this is the course material. Sorry. Got it? So that is the wiki page. All right, finally, on each week, you will come to a discussion post. This is a prompt that you are answering to the class. So these are usually due on Thursday, but the prompt itself, the discussion, ends on Sunday. This allows you time to come back and discuss. The idea of a discussion is that you are not just posting and running, or posting and dashing as I call it. You need to come back and you need to speak with your peers about the post and discuss. That's why it's called a discussion. So you're discussing what is the best solution to this prompt. There might not be a one right answer, but what is the best solution that you might come to as a group, as a class, with regard to the problem I put forth? So like the first week, in the transition from Gothic to Renaissance, Giotto's work stands as a bridge between two times in painting as well as in architecture. So describe how and why his work differs from his predecessors. Please use examples to support your work. So you're always looking at the work that he's done, and you're, in this case, looking at the work that others have done and showing how he is creating this transition in his work from the past to his present. That is only done through talking about artwork. So you're putting the artwork first, and you're talking about it in the context of the time and trying to form an idea or a conclusion. So this requires a thesis statement and so on. So you're doing these mini prompts or mini 3 to 5 paragraph essays, and then you're discussing them with your colleagues. And then again, listed here are the side quests so that you can quickly navigate to them each week. They say that they're due in a specific date, but they are really continuous deadlines, so they will remain open. If you miss one for 1 week, you can always go back and do them. They're all really due by the end of the term as far as the side quests go. Just don't put them off. It's much easier to pace it, and I had to break it up for grading purposes because otherwise it's hard to maintain the grade structure on this. So that's the course content and how you navigate this course. If you want to go quickly to discussions, you can go there. Quickly to assignments, there's not many that are turned in there. I like to have everything more public so that we have more peer learning opportunities. Your grade book can also be found under My Tools. All right, so let's go into the most important document very quickly here, the syllabus. The syllabus provides you with the overview of the course. It is kind of our course contract. This is Art History 373. It's a 300 level course and it's 3 credits. There is a lot that is contained within just that. The fact that it is a 300 level course means that if you're a first year student, please pay closer attention to the week 1 scaffolding materials on how to write, how to research, and those kind of things, because you might not have gone through an English course that will discuss those items for you. It is also 3 credits. So I'm expecting 3rd year level writing and work. And I'm also expecting 3 credits worth of time invested in the course based on our Carnegie unit and the university policy, which I'll get to in just a moment. My contact information, please do not call me Joshua. I am not Joshua. I'm Professor Yavelberg. This is, I just can't edit that. So here's the course description, an introduction, outcomes, the course materials. You really don't need to purchase anything for this course. Class guidelines. Participation is really important throughout the term. What? Go away. Apologize. Discussion forums, a quick note there. I do grade them not based on quantity, but quality. So the amount of depth that you provide in your thoughts and in your discussions is really what you're being graded on. Also, try to avoid conversational tone and text speak and things like quick thank you posts. Assume that we are thanking you. If you are participating, I do thank you in whole. But posting a quick 1 line, not even 2 words, thank you, what it does is it flags it as a post that I need to read, and then as such, I have more work to do. I've gone out of my time for 5 minutes to find a post that only says thank you. It's wasting my time. It's wasting everyone else's time as well. Avoid it. Please, just cut it out of your vocabulary. Academic integrity, please, 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 no copy pasting. Make sure that you are doing your own work, and I will uphold the academic integrity policy. I hate catching people, but I do it a lot. So please do not cheat in any way. You can use things like Turnitin to make sure that you are not plagiarizing. Course expectations. This is, again, a 3-credit course. The policy is Policy 160 at UMUC, and it states that we are on the Carnegie unit. So that requires for 3 credits between 126 to 135 hours worth of work over 8 weeks, which is roughly 16 hours worth of work a week in a course such as this. There is a lot of work. I understand that we all have a lot of obligations in our time. This overlaps Thanksgiving, which can also take away time from your schedule in the course. We cannot honor holidays. So please work ahead, think ahead, and be proactive rather than reactive. It's the best way to be in an online course. It means signing in frequently. Those who read and respond to posts tend to get good grades. Those who only post and dash, and I see only read their own post maybe, if that, they tend to get the worst grades. So it's very clear in my statistics that those who put forth the effort get good grades. It's almost as simple as that in online courses. So please, please, please participate. Those are my expectations. They might seem like a lot, but that is really the requirement of the institution. I apologize if no one's explained this to you before. Supplemental materials, there you go. Grading information broken out with rubrics for you. Then there's the descriptions of each of the projects, which I've already discussed at length. Again, rubrics specific to any of the projects. And then this syllabus wraps up with the course schedule. Weekly, what we're covering. And this will be copied into the announcements area each week with links to where you need to be. So that concludes my overview of this course. Please note that I am available in many ways to answer your questions. I will Skype, I will create, Google Hangouts, whatever you need to find successful completion in this course. I'm here for you. I look forward to working with you all. Remember that it's art before history. We're looking at art, and we're going to discuss the art. It's going to be great. Best of luck on this term, and I look forward to working with you all.